Okie dokie, we're live. Hello everyone. This is Transbricks. My name is Meja. We're going to be building and chatting and making Lego and having a nice time on a beautiful Sunday evening. We're going to say evening. I'm streaming a little later than normal. Sundays are kind of variable the time that I start. And I've been trying to start a little later, I think. But this is one of the later ones. So I hope you're all well. We got a Freya in the chat. We got a Rosina. Hello. How you doing, guys? Hope you're doing really well. Ooh. Tell me how it's going, if you like. What are you up to, Rosina? For my part, I have been having a jolly old time. I've been out gallivanting on the town, in the cities, various cities, Oslo, Fredrikstad, having lots of fun, lots of cool fun with cool fun people, which is nice. Which I like that. I like this for myself. Rosina says I'm surviving. Important to always survive. That's the first order of business. Survival. Finally convinced people to send me the letters I need for the passport office. Hopefully they accept it this time. Are they being difficult? Are they being difficult for you? What are you trying to get sorted? Do you need a new passport? Is this a US passport? I can't remember where you are now. Is it US or is it UK? I don't remember. I hope you get it sorted. Stressful times, isn't it? That very stressful thing to do currently, trying to sort out our documentation. Well, if you're in the US at least. But also in the UK. Very difficult, huh? You're in the UK and they've been being very difficult. That doesn't bode well. Well, they shouldn't be difficult just for a passport. They shouldn't really be difficult. They should be fairly straightforward. That have you been unlucky or? No, I don't think you have. I think a lot of people are struggling, aren't they? Freya's been resting today. My chronic fatigue is playing up. Sorry to hear that. Still, Sunday is a day of rest traditionally, so it's a good day to do it. Personally, I have not been resting. I should do. I need a weekend to recover from the weekend. Maybe I can have 2 weekends in a row. Maybe I can just stitch these ones together, and on the second weekend, I'm going to be good. I'm going to be a good girl. I'm not going to do all the drinking and the things, the late nights. Unless something really good happens, then I'll go out again. The issue was over my middle name, and no one prints middle names on correspondence anymore. They don't really, do they? What's the issue? I think I've got my middle name on my passport. The UK is getting very difficult to get stuff sorted. Is it? It's getting worse. Is it the bureaucratic barriers that exist for, many people, for sure. But for trans people, for sure. Okay, this is the first passport I've applied for. So you're quite young, aren't you? Oops, stop it, advert. No, I don't want to listen to you, advert. You're quite young, I assume. This is the first passport you've applied for. Can be a bit of a pain, and maybe because it's the first one, it can be a bit extra painful. I don't know. Oh, but you are in your late 50s. They wanted evidence that I'd been using my full name. I'm in my late 50s. They wanted evidence. They wanted evidence that you'd been using your full name. What? What? Why? What and why? It's really ridiculous, isn't it? It's really ridiculous that we have to jump through these stupid little hoops that they give us. That sounds really stupid. It was really annoying and ridiculous. You're going to need to sort yours out as well, Freya. Oh dear. I know, it's stupid. I sent them a bunch of documents with my first and last name on, and they rejected them all because they didn't have your middle name on. And that's the thing. Middle names are not used all that much. How stupid. But, because the thing is, they really should just, isn't it just the deed poll that you need? A deed poll and a letter, and maybe a letter of recommendation or something, and you're done. Right? You're done. Surely. They shouldn't be quibbling over middle names. It's like, no. What about your middle name? It's like, what about it? Come on, guys. What about it? Just write it down. Come on. I think mine shouldn't be too difficult. On the word. My full name is on my driving license and my council tax bill. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. I'm pretty sure that my full name is on my passport. Is it on my bank account? I don't know. I don't think it is. I'm not sure. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's taken me 2 months of begging different organisations, and I was told by some their systems don't even support printing middle names, at all. Awesome systems we've got in place. Awesome systems. Love those computer programmers who don't take into account middle names. People do have middle names. This is a thing that people have, and they've had them for a long time, hundreds of years. But the tech bros, the computer people are like, oh, we don't need that field anymore. It's just a waste of memory, waste of time. We don't need that field. Let's just wipe out the entire population's middle names and not support that anymore. It's cray, and it should not be happening. This, they probably learned how to computer program from an AI, as in they didn't. Oh, it makes me a little bit frustrated. I don't know about you guys. Should we build a bit? I might build a bit of Lego while we're talking, because I got this Lego in front of me. I should build it. Really, I should build it. Camera hub. Yeah. No, that's just me again. That's just me again from a slightly different angle. That's what we wanted. Yeah, I'm just going to put these around the side. No, but that is a bureaucratic nightmare, isn't it? And you're not. You're in your 50s. They should not be doing this to you. This is just disrespectful, isn't it? That is what this is. Actually, it's just disrespectful. And and to what end? To what end do they? What's the point? What do they think's gonna happen if they just like, you know what? If you say this is your middle name, then we should probably just put that as your middle name, because that's what you said is your middle name. So what? Let's just do the decent thing here, and it's just yeah, okay, I believe you. Because otherwise, what have we got? What have we got if we don't have that kind of level of trust? At some point, you just have to believe the person who's sat in front of you is not trying to run a criminal mastermind enterprise by having a middle name. You just have to believe that. And if that's not something that you can do, then we really can't proceed. Can we? We can't. We just can't proceed. And when I say we can't, what can we not proceed with? No, we can't proceed with society. We have to stop now. If you can't even muster the basic level of trust to believe that this is my middle name, and I'm not trying to do anything else apart from just get a passport, then I don't think we've got anything else to talk about at this point. The real kicker, HMRC and the Passport Office don't print middle names on their correspondence either. Even their own systems don't support it. This is a joke, isn't it? It's a joke. I'm afraid. I know, I don't like saying it, but it's true. I'm afraid the UK is now a joke country. It's a country run by clowns, for clowns. Yeah, what can you say to that? I think it was all just a gatekeep. Yeah, of course it was. No, of course it was. Yeah. No, obviously. Some cis person will come, some cis woman, some cis man will come in and they'll be like, I just want a passport. Okay, no problem, there you go. Do you want your middle name? There, yeah, have it the middle name as well, no problem. Yep. Thank you, Sarah, madam. Bye. Right, so where were we? You wanted a middle name? I don't know. Yeah, because this kind of thing, it doesn't actually tend to happen to people who aren't trans. Strange, isn't it strange? It's strange, but it does tend to happen. This kind of story does tend to happen to people who are trans or some kind of gender non-conforming or non-conforming in some kind of way. It doesn't happen if you're a good little obedient citizen. No, they don't like that. They don't like our freedom, that's for sure. And they have created systems. These are the very systems that are designed to oppress us. And there you go. That's it, working in action as designed. Right away, you can see you've got that's a perfect example. It's a perfect example. It really is. Another thing that's designed to oppress us is these YouTube adverts. Oh my God. That pop up every few minutes. I don't have the smarts to be a criminal mastermind, unfortunately. Well, you say that. But, you sort of already are. Just by being trans, that is how people, we are already criminal masterminds, Like, we're not making much money. We're not making much money from it. But we are dealing in another currency that some might say is far more powerful than money. And that is ideas. We are dealing in ideas, but what's the idea? Well, the idea is you can be free. If you want to be, you don't have to actually be a slave. If you want to break free from that, if you want to break free from these oppressive systems that try to control and bind us, you can. Just do it. Just wake up one day and just lean out of your window and say, I'm fed up of this and I don't want to take it anymore. What did he say? He said something like that. So I'm really fed up. Shit this. And I'm not going to take it anymore. I think that's what he said in the film. No, he said, I'm mad as hell. That's it. He said, I'm mad as hell. I'm mad as hell. That's it. And I'm not going to take it anymore. Yeah. And that was a cis person. That was a white cis guy. That was a white cis guy who was having problems. Poor thing. Imagine being a trans woman. Imagine being a black trans woman. Holy shit. They have got it on difficult mode. They've got all the settings to difficult. Incredible people. They still do it. They still do it. missing a piece. Oh, there it is. Good. Freya said, yeah, I tell people I'm either Irish, which is your mother's nationality, or German, which is your birth country. And that's good. Is that a good way around the stupid British bureaucracy? I certainly hope so. Don't know those things. Huh. Rosina says, I mean, I wouldn't be against having a secret lair or a cute white kitty on my lap. No one's against that. This is things that we should just have. This is our birthright, I think. We should claim our birthright. I expect a secret underground lair. I'm worth it. Honestly, I'll settle for an overground lair at this point in this economy. Like, beggars can't be choosers, you know? As long as it's got a helicopter pad, maybe 2. And a swimming pool that opens up and is actually an underground launch pad. Very important. Like, there's some things that I will not compromise on, and I think those are them. Five, 4, 3. Yeah, I used to watch that. I used to watch it, but I was never that bothered about it actually. But I liked that bit. That was like this. That was the, it's the tile sequence. The actual, the tile sequence was the best bit, and then the actual episode, and the stories were like, usually a bit so-so, weren't they? I think a bit boring. Got some great tips for TV and film actually over the weekend. Some great tips. Gonna definitely be watching a few things. I was just checking my notes because I've written them down. I like to write them down in my notes. Okay. Yeah, some good things here. So I got a book recommendation. Little Fish. Maybe I saw. Actually, you know what? Maybe I said maybe that was on stream. Maybe I got that recommended on stream. I think I did. Okay, forget about that one. We got The Wave from 1981. Has anyone seen that? Does anyone know what that is? The Wave from 1981. Have a quick look. Apparently it's available on YouTube, I think. You can just watch it on YouTube. The Wave doesn't ring a bell. It's funny because I'm making The Great Wave, right? But then there's also a thing, a made-for-TV movie from 1981 called The Wave. And it's a made-for-TV movie directed by Alex Grasshoff, based on the third wave experiment put on by teacher Ron Jones to explain to his students how the German populace could accept the actions of the Nazi regime. Yes, it seems relevant to her current interests, I would say. And that's probably why it was recommended to me. I think we were talking about various things. Can't imagine what. Musk. And yeah, I think that this could be very relevant to a lot of people's interests. So The Wave, 1981 film, and I believe you can just watch it on YouTube. Could be a good watch, that. Could be interesting. Another one that I got, it's called The Greatest Showman. And I've not seen that one. And a friend sent me a clip of one of the. It's a musical. A friend sent me a clip of one of the songs, and I was like, "Wow, that's really good." And I showed it to my friends, and they were like, "Yo, yeah, it's really good film, such a good film." And I was like, "I haven't seen it." Yeah, you've wanted to watch it. We should watch it earlier. The Greatest Showman. Really? Well, I don't remember that. Okay, well, I'm saying yes now. Hey, Fina Colada, how you doing? Lovely to see you in my chat. Do you like a fruity bit of pineapple with alcohol? Do you like that? It's one of my favorite things. I've heard of The Greatest Showman, but haven't seen it yet. Yeah, it looks really good. Maybe check out a clip. I didn't really know much about it, but when I saw this clip, I was like, oh, I get it now. I know why I should watch this. And if you watch this clip, I think you'll probably know why you should watch this one. Fina is good. I had some nerves earlier, but they're going away. What was it? Was it triggered by something? Hey Aurelia, it's good to see you on my channel as well. Was the nerves? I feel the most anxiety in the mid-morning for some reason, right? So was it not a specific trigger? You just kind of had nerves. That's a shame. I went night clubbing last night. Not done that for a little while, actually. I was there with all the silly boys and girls, 20-year-olds, or whatever they were. And then also, a slightly older group, that was us. And had a jolly old time. We were the sexy girls in the corner, Oh, so nice. Such a nice time. On and off the dance floor. Dance floor was a little rowdy, and I kept getting pushed. At one point, someone pushed me, and my nail got caught. I reached down, my nail got caught on someone's jeans or something. And then he bent it back and really hurt that bit. That was the worst part of the night. But apart from that, it was very good. I was a teeny weeny little bit drunk, but not so drunk that I couldn't enjoy myself. And also not so drunk that today's been horrible. Today's been fine. Yes, sure, I'm a little tired, a little bit low energy, but mostly it's been fine. Ooh, look at this frame. Oh my gosh. I'm probably going too fast again as usual, but it's looking pretty good. Pastry packets are ready to go in the oven. I'll put them in once it's ready, then 10 to 15 minutes and they'll be ready to cool off. Pastry packets. We've got pastry packets or pockets. Let's go for pockets. Pastry pockets happening in our oven right now as we speak. If anyone wants to munch me up, I'll happily eat some Meja's munchies. I've got my eye on something right here. And it looks very, very tasty indeed. 15. Okay, so we're on to bags 15, and I think that these are the last bags. Oh, this is a bit sad, isn't it? Well, I don't have to rush it, I don't have to rush it. I can stop whenever I like. Fina says, seems to just be my body being a bit on edge. I don't know what causes it. Trauma, I think. Probably. I don't know. Trauma maybe? I'm going to go with trauma. Maybe you don't realise it, that you got it. And the thing is, you probably do. I don't know, you probably do. Most trans people do. It's quite traumatic. It's quite a traumatic experience, living in their own body, or whatever you call it, for so long. It's not... it can put a person on edge. It can be quite stressful. And that kind of long-term kind of stressful situation, it's not good for you, basically. It's just not good for you. Which is why, the sooner you can transition, the earlier you transition, the more likely your mental health outcomes are going to be really good. Like, just no problems. The sooner you can transition, the earlier you transition. The longer you wait, the harder it's going to be, because you've had to go through so much in your life, myself included. You've had to, it's not easy. It's not easy. Now, it's not hopeless. It's not hopeless, though. That's really important to know. It's absolutely not. Once you've transitioned, because that's important. That's an important first step. Once you've transitioned, you can then start healing. You can start healing. It's possible. It will take work. It'll take time, but you can heal a lot of that trauma. It's very worthwhile trying to do that. But you don't get it for free. You have to work on it. Okay, that's a couple lunches for next week solved. Fantastic, already. I'm excited about those lunches. Very much looking forward to trying those. Rosina says, in other news, I should be seeing my fiancé soon. He's flying over from the US next week. That's awesome, Rosina. That's very nice, good news. I'm happy for you. Your fiancé. When are you going to get married? Oh, you can't get married. When are you going to get married? Or maybe if you set a date, you might not set a date, Fina discovered last night that I kind of like whiskey. I quite like whiskey as well, Fina. I've had, I was drinking whiskey last night, coincidentally. And I don't usually, but one of my friends has, she very much enjoys whiskey. She has a couple of different ones. We were drinking Jura single malt. It's very nice. Then we ran out of that, and so we started on something else, and it wasn't as good. And at that point, we didn't really care. Okay. So Aurelia's made some ham rods, apparently. You've made some ham rods. Very difficult to say that with a straight face. I don't know why you thought I'd like those, Aurelia. But you were probably right. Yeah, it feels like trauma. I'm just not sure which one. There's so many to choose from, isn't there? There's such a nice, you got a huge, happy selection of different things. Just take your pick. Well, I think that's probably something to work out. You can figure that out. I'm sure you can. And that's again, that's an important thing to have a little think about. Talk to your therapist about. I hope if you have one. If you don't have one, please consider trying to find one. They are very, they can be very useful. They're not always very good, but they can be good. My body carries the trauma of living with dysphoria. Yes, it does. It's very difficult to get rid of that. Your body, it does. What is it? Body remembers. Your body remembers. It does. And a lot of this it actually comes out physically. It comes out physically with like tension bad posture, or, aches and pains and all this kind of stuff. And it's because that's how it manifests, and it manifests physically in the body oftentimes. If I consider going by my old name, my body starts having a panic attack. It's remarkable. That is remarkable. If you even consider going by your old name. I mean, okay, but also, I get it, actually. I completely get that. It's not something I've ever considered. I'm now considering it, and I don't like the idea of it, so I'm not going to consider that. It's and also I'm very lucky that I don't even need to think about considering it. Why would I? It wouldn't really make an awful lot of sense for anyone. But there you go. Well, it says, and Meja, when I pull them out, there are some cut-offs. I might whip up some cream and then bring you some of them in the cream. No, I think... no, don't bring that. But, because I'm full of food and I don't think I could eat that right now. Sorry. Maybe later. Maybe later, though. My body acts like its own entity sometimes, and it's so weird. It's not. I don't know if it's that weird. We're not in complete control. Our brain, many of the functions, that our brain maintains and manages in our body are subconscious. We have no. We don't really have any conscious input into them. But that doesn't mean that they can't also be affected by the trauma. Hopefully in a few months for the marriage. Awesome, Azina. Ray says, I didn't think of the name. No, I know. That's the actual traditional name of the recipe translated. Shinkastang. Hamrad. I know. It's the name. Fina, it feels like anxiety about change in the future, which is a tricky thing for me because I'm prone to getting visions. And my body may be picking up something my consciousness hasn't yet. Yeah, if it weren't for the fact that my dead name is gender neutral. Oh, that's good. That's actually good, isn't it? Having a dead name that's gender neutral. I'm getting visions. Yeah, my trauma responses often seem to come from somewhere that isn't quite my conscious mind. I think that sort of makes sense. Maybe. Oops, did that wrong. Well, it's a fairly common trance experience that, having trauma responses. But you can heal. That's the main thing I just want to reiterate and make sure you understand it. There's always a path. There's always a path to healing, I think. Don't give up. Yeah, but it's also a very common male name, and I associate it with that. Sure. I think it's important as well. It's important to be able to make peace with ourselves as we are, our whole self. And a lot of trans women, especially early trans women, early transitioners, have a knee-jerk reaction and want to reject that idea. It's like, no, I'm absolutely, I have nothing to do with that old person. He's dead. I'm this completely new person. And that's actually not super healthy either. Because, that old person, That little girl was having such struggles, oh boy. He was having such struggles. They actually got us to where we are, you know. We should love them. We should love them just as much as we love our current selves. We should love our past selves because they enabled us to get to where we are now. And they were in their own way very, very amazing people, incredible people, so strong, so resilient, you know, so patient. Like, oh my gosh, so patient, you know, looking ahead, not just in weeks or months, but in years, like playing the long game. Like, Queen, you knocked it out of the park there. And I cannot honestly sometimes get my head around how incredibly difficult that was and how much strength was required. And that was me. That was me, and that was my strength. And it's also you, and it's your strength. So, you know, don't reject that. Don't say, no, that's not part of me. Be proud. That's a beautiful part of you. Yeah. Fina is actually a reworking of it. Okay, it was my mum's idea because I think she could see that changing the spelling wasn't enough for me. It's the only name she suggested that I actually remember because it's short for Josephine, or Josephina, okay? And I thought that that's kind of perfect. It's nice, isn't it? It's a nice name, and it's Josephina. I get it, yeah. Yeah. It's hard for me because I wasn't always the greatest person, in effect, but I was trying my best. Yeah, I know. You're never going to be the best. You can't be the best version of yourself. You know, that's sort of the deal, I'm afraid. It's just, who could expect that? If you were able to be the best version of yourself with no problems, then that's called being cis. Super easy, that's a super easy thing to be. Most people don't even realize that that's, you know, that there could be anything other than that, but they just think that they are the default. Well, there is no default. There's no default human condition. We are another beautiful expression of it. Oh, it's building this now. Yeah, no, but same. I was not the best version of myself at all. But and that's why I transitioned. Yeah, that's why we do it. That's why we transition, in order to be that best version of ourselves, the one that we know we have inside, and that we just couldn't, we couldn't really be. We couldn't really be it before, but now we can be it. We can be the best version of ourselves. We have given ourselves this incredible opportunity for growth, personal growth, and acceptance. That's what we've given ourselves. Now all we have to do is do it. We just have to live that now. We just have to live it and embody it and manifest it. And we can do that. That is something that we can do. Yeah, it's better now that I have 4 years of transitioning to look back on. I don't experience nearly as much regret because at least I was being myself. I still beat myself up for silly mistakes, though. I mean, yeah, we're human. We are human. That's what humans do. It's very silly being human. But we are. My dad, transhuman, better human. My dad has said he does that a lot too. May run in the family. Well, probably it's just, it's normal. It's pretty normal. It means you care. It means you're not a psychopath, So, sometimes it's very easy to dwell on our mistakes. But don't do that. Just think about them. Sure, sometimes it's not a crime to think about them, but also don't dwell on them. Don't certainly don't let them define who you are. You learn from a mistake. Listen, a mistake is only a mistake if you don't learn from it. Everyone makes mistakes, and the trick is just to learn from it and move on and try to be better. And then, it's just a normal part of life, being human. But if you really want to make a mistake, like a proper mistake, then you don't learn from it. Yeah, that's the big mistake here. And some people, they don't. They really don't, and they really do fail. They fail at life. And I don't think anyone in my chat's failing at life right now. Mostly because you're watching me, so you're obviously not completely stupid. You think about some dumb shit you said a while ago and just feel overwhelmed with self-directed rage. Yeah, I know, but don't do it. Don't do it, though. I know, but don't. I know. Uncomfortable moments, but hopefully they lead to self-improvement. They certainly should do. That's the idea. Oh, I see. So we don't have 6. We don't have 2x6 tiles. So I just do this. Fine. Oh gosh, I've nearly finished. I finished. I think that's the frame. There you go. Is that a nice picture? What I'll do is I'll put the actual picture in, not just my face. So I prepared a little something previously. And here it is. Let's see if I can get this in. I think I know what I'm doing, but Come on, go in. Oh, it doesn't want to go in now. No. Can I just... No. Why is it not going in? I see no reason why this is not going in, actually. Oh, no, I bashed it. Ah, damn it. Right, come on, go in. It doesn't want to go in. Why not? This doesn't work. Oh, okay, hold on. There you go, I got it. Alright, now I should just be able to press it down. That was quite hard work. Okay, press it down. And then, I believe what I need to do is I need to just... Yeah, I did that bit. Yeah, I need to do the clips. So... I just need to put all these clips in. There it is. I think that's all of them. And the great wave is finished. The great wave is complete. And now I need to put it on my wall in case serenely out of the window while pregnant. Or maybe she's just got massive knockers. I'm not sure if she's pregnant or she's got massive knockers and is not pregnant. It's hard to say. But whatever the explanation is, she's wearing a very tent-like dress. I actually quite like it. And I can't do that. But this is the Great Wave. It's finished. We did it. We did the Great Wave. It's really nice, isn't it? It's actually, I mean, it is really, really nice. The colours of the blue and the sky and stuff. Wow, whoa. I'm going to put it here. No. No, that's not work. No. Okay, I don't know where to put it. Oh, I wonder. Okay, so I wonder if I can put it behind one of the current Lego displays. Like, I could put it like, I don't know. Maybe I could put it behind and it'll work. I don't know. Should I try or? Maybe I won't try now. I'm not going to try it now. I'm going to leave it. I'll just put it to the side, I think. Yeah, so that's finished. Put it here. Thank you to the lovely guy who bought me that. That was a gift. Thank you, Eric. Right, what should we do now? No one redeemed any. Did you not redeem any Mayor's Manches? Or did I just not see it? I don't remember seeing one. Just refreshing some caches. And yeah, maybe we just. Oh, here we go. Thank you. So I think it might be time to move on to the cat, or move back to the cat. Because I've got a very fetching tuxedo cat to finish building. I put him on hold. Why can't I open this? Come on. Why can't I open my chocolate? This is frustrating. There we are. There. Done. Okay. Chocolate. It's good chocolate. Oh, it's good chocolate. Oh. So, here is where we got with Tuxedo Cat. We made his tummy, sort of, and we made the his bottom and like back of his back. And now we need to carry on, because we're going to build some more Tuxedo Cat. So let me just retrieve the pieces. Don't need this anymore. So this is what we're building. It's a beautiful, beautiful cat. We don't have, you know what, I've never had a cat. I've never actually had a cat, not by myself, not in my family. I know plenty of other people who've got cats, but I've never had one for myself. Always been dogs. I wouldn't mind a cat though. I really wouldn't mind a cat. This is my first one. So let's build it. I'm gonna open the box again. And I guess I need to figure out, I don't even know what instruction or what bag we're on. So that's probably the first thing to think about. A bit short on space, actually. So, do we still have it? Yes, we do. We still have the instructions, which is nice. Here we are. Here's the instructions to Tuxedo Cat. So we're gonna just scroll down and find something that looks familiar. Oh, right. No, okay, I've gone too far because we haven't done this bit. Did we get to here? I think we did. That looks kind of familiar. What do you think? That looks the same to me. Cool. So, we have done 152. We're now on to bag 7. Okay, bag 7. That's what I need to find. Seven. Yeah, I mean the question is there more than one bag 7? And maybe, but we don't know. I'm just gonna open it. Yeah, no, I think that this maybe is the complete bag 7. Good. Oh, what was that? I don't know. Cool, so that's good. I'll just move this out of the way because I don't think we need it right now. There we go. Fina loves tuxedo kitties. My family had one named Leo. If you say that name, the dog still freaks out. I live with 2 cats who have been together since birth and they are pals. How lovely. Yeah, cats are great. Cats are really cool. Very affectionate animals, very soft and strokeable, and they make nice noises, don't they? Almost like as far as noises go, because dogs just bark and it's quite loud and annoying. Woof woof woof. It's a bit annoying, Whereas cats, they don't really do that, and they do kind of just go meow. That's quite a nice thing, and they purr, and that's nice too. Hey dog. Speaking of dogs and cats, we're back to the tuxedo cat. We just finished the Great Wave, and it was great. It was indeed great. Just in time to tell my cat story. You've got a cat story. Well, I am all ears. My ears have pricked up. I want to hear your cat story. Yeah, meows are super cute, aren't they? Meows are the cutest. They are such nice little sounds. It's the cat trying to mimic human sounds. That's the closest they can get to. Not a bad effort, I suppose, but yeah. Hello, what are you trying to say exactly? Yeah. Okay, so dog says I went to work and my cat was on my trailer. A few miles away. Huh? Wait, your cat was on your trailer a few miles away. How do you know? Yeah, sometimes they do make little words. I have seen videos just to prove that. Oh. It's hilarious. Oh.
Some cut-offs from the pastry and whipped cream.
Oh, yeah, I didn't. Did you know what you heard me say? I'm not feeling it, sorry.
Oh, I didn't hear that. No, because I'm not at the screen.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, no, I'll have it later. Still kind of hungover today, actually. So he jumped. I'm not sorry. So Doug, so what's happening here? I'm trying to follow the story, but I'm not doing a very good job of apparently. So you went to work and your cat was on your trailer, a few miles away. He's jumped off. I heard him under my mower. Right, you got your you've got a lawnmower. The little guy jumped off the trailer and was missing for 7 days. Oh gosh. But he turned up. He turned up after 7 days, so that's good. I wonder where he went, huh? He went on a little cat adventure. He went to find some lady cats or some boy cats. Doing things that cats do. Even cats do it. Even educated fleas do it. I saw a cat saying, "Look, I'm gay," a little while ago. What? Yeah, he probably didn't know what he was saying, I assume. Or... But today at 6 a.m. he's scratching at the door. Now he's asleep right beside me. Oh, he literally just came back this morning, did he? Wow. That's a nice end to the story. Oh, yeah, I wish we had a pet. I miss my dog. I really miss my dog, actually. I'd like to, I enjoy going home and stroking Frida again. She's very cuddly. Okay, I have to head off. My game started half an hour ago. Cool. Who wants to be a mod? Would anyone like to be a mod today? Hands up in chat if you want to be a mod. Well, everyone's biting my hand off here. You can't all be mods. Cool, just made this. Whoa. So I've been burning the candles at both ends the last few days. I think maybe my wick has started to sputter. Or whatever wicks do. Both my wicks. No, hold on, is it one wick? It's one wick, but it goes all the way through, right? Yeah. Oh, cool. Look at this. It's kind of cool. It's like this whole thing with the curves. It's quite clever, actually, the way they've done that. Okay, so no one wants to be a mod. Okay, well I'll just be my own mod, I guess. Haven't done that for a while. I can't remember what I'm doing. How do I do it? Where's the mod controls? How do I... Show mod icons. There you go. That's what I needed. Good. And now I can delete message. I can warn you all. I can time you out. Or I can just ban you on a click of a button. So you've been warned, guys. I could just click on you now and you've been in big trouble. Big trouble. Oh, it looks like it lights up. You think? Huh? What, this? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not going to light up. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then I'm putting curves on the other side as well. Yeah, right, because this is... Yeah, okay. This is going to be... I know what this is going to be. Well, yeah, obviously. Obviously this is what it's going to be. Okay, I'm going to go here. Dog has never been a good mod. Have you never been a good mod? Why? What do you do? What have you done that was made you think that you're a bad mod? This is a story now. I feel like there's a story there somewhere. Sure. So this goes on here now. And then I'm pretty sure that this tile goes here. And like that. Oh, look at that. That is so cool, actually. Isn't that so cool? It's his little leg, his little foot and leg. Oh. And so I'm going to do the same on the other side, I suspect. This is going to be bag 8, and it's basically going to be the same thing on the other side. So let's find bag 8. Okay. Well, that's 9, so I'm going to leave that one out. There you go. Fina says I don't feel like I should be a mod. I'm on mobile. I'm also Fina. That's a circular argument if I've ever heard. Fine, if no one's going to step up to the plate, it's really fine. I'll just do it myself. It's not a problem. I've just been dealing with some transphobia on Blue Sky. I think Graham Linehan is having a slow and sad Sunday afternoon stroke evening in the UK. Sat in his underpants, which need a good wash. Whole thing does really... Oh, it's not a pretty sight, let me tell you. And he's decided to make account after account after account and just try and be nasty to the trans women that he's so jealous of on the internet. He sees us living our quite incredible, fabulous, authentic lives, having fun. Recapturing our youth in some cases, such as myself. And it fries his little brain. He doesn't like that at all. So he tries to spread some of his misery. He's got so much to share with the world, miserableness, that it all comes leaking out of his brain into his fingers onto my Blue Sky account. He doesn't tend to do it on Twitter. I don't know why, but he loves to do it on Blue Sky. I think it feels more dirty to him because he knows he's not supposed to be there because Blue Sky is actually quite nice. He knows he's going to get banned and it just makes the whole situation much more naughty and delicious for him. Weird little freaky man that he is. Oh, well, I frequently get accused of being a delusional weirdo, lol. Perhaps that probably wouldn't affect my body much, but I feel unworthy. You frequently get accused of being a delusional weirdo. Well. Right. I think fantasy, living in fantasy. Yeah, speaking of Graham Linehan, for example, but also speaking about a lot of trans women, actually. It's quite a, it's a coping mechanism. It's the way some of us cope, because reality can be really hard. And escaping into fantasy, whether that's, role-playing games or video games or, some kind of fantasy that you've created in your head. A better vision of your life or who you are or whatever. Even if it's just using FaceApp and kind of half pretending, half admitting on social media or whatever that this is not really you, but this is you really, but it's not really, and kind of enjoying this little fantasy thing. It's pretty common. A lot of people do it. You don't have to be trans to do it. Reality can be kind of tough. Reality can be a difficult thing to live in. So it's no wonder that a lot of us, enjoy our own little fantasies now and then. I think the problem is when you start to actually really believe the fantasies. It's not just a bit of fun. It's not just, just doing it to make yourself feel better. But you know the truth. You know the truth. But this is a nice fantasy. You're just gonna indulge yourself a little bit and feel better. And that seems pretty harmless. I think it's pretty harmless, generally speaking. I think everything in moderation. Yes. So as soon as the fantasy starts to feel real, you start to not necessarily understand the difference now between fantasy and reality. The lines are starting to blur. And also, if it's actually affecting your life detrimentally, this is a key thing. If it's actually having a detrimental effect on your life. Because it's all fun and games until things actually start to go to seriously affect you and go wrong. And then suddenly your fantasy is turning into something that's maybe it's time to, press the brakes a little bit. I think it's very easy. It's very easy to, to mess up and to retreat and to deny reality and to deny the situation, because the situation can be so very, very hard. But ultimately, you've sort of got to kind of come to terms with everything, and you've got to be able to move forward in a positive way. And accept yourself for who you actually are, who you really are, and just try and be the best version of yourself that you can be. The best real version, the best authentic version of yourself that you can be. That's really cool. It's really cool and cute. I love it. It's the lower part of a cat. That's awesome. Great curves. Yeah. Exactly. Fina says, I've just had extra weird things happen in my life on a lot of occasions. Even though the trans people aren't typically prepared to hear about my experiences, life is a little different when you make a name for yourself with extremists. Yeah. We all like to think we live in reality, of course, and even people who are blatantly definitely don't live in reality kind of think that they live in reality. Our brains are very powerful things. They construct this, we construct this reality in our brains. And we think we've got a pretty good handle on it, but our reality is not other people's realities. It just isn't. Our concerns are not other people's concerns necessarily. What other people see and experience and how they perceive us and others around them often can be quite different and quite varied. So this whole passing thing, it's very difficult to know and to say what's happening there. Fina says, the line between fantasy and reality was very blurry for me at first, but I've gone through many phases and seem to have stabilised somewhat. That's encouraging. Yeah, I experienced this a lot, especially when I get into what it was like when I got drugged, because I'm trying to talk about feelings that are rather specific to my existence. People just don't know what I'm talking about when I say super dysphoria. Well, that's because that's the word yes. It sounds to me, so you say super dysphoria, so you've got it extra bad, have you? Because I should at this point say that it's very difficult to know how bad you've got it compared to other people. We're all dealing with stuff. We're all dealing with our stuff. I think trying to say my suffering is more profound than yours, actually. And trying to be objective about that, it's not possible. Not at the moment, but for 1.5 years I had a hormone problem that made me feel increasingly like I have a male body with time. Does that mean? It's super hard to explain, but when this shit hits you, it literally feels like you've got zapped with a ray and turned into a dude. Yes. Fina, it doesn't sound like it's difficult to relate to that. Those illusions where it's the vase. Is it the vase? You see the empty space? Or is it the two faces looking at each other, There's ones with perspective as well. There's ones where, you're like, is it something going in or is it something going out? And it just switches, it just switches in your brain. You can, at one point you see one, and suddenly it switches and you see the other. You see the other image or optical illusion or whatever. And yes, I understand that. I understand that very well. Very well indeed. Yeah, it's hard because some people get it. Other people feel the need to promote mental health awareness when I talk about crazy things. Yes, but it is a mental health issue. So that's why they're promoting that, because, they want you to be okay. They just want you to be okay, I think. As I was saying, the older you are when you transition, so you're 50 or you're in your 50s, the harder it is. It's no surprise. It's no surprise that it's hard for you. It's okay for you to be struggling. Like, who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be struggling? What's this? I don't know what this is. Making some venom? I don't know what. Huh, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, that's true. It's only bad when people dismiss my experiences. Tell me it's all in your head. No, but everything's all in our heads. Everything, literally everything is all in our head. It's how our brains interpret what we're seeing and what we're experiencing. That can cause the issues. There's a right way of seeing the world and a wrong way. Sort of. Oh, okay. Hey, that's good. Am I making the head right now? Am I actually making the head? Is that what I'm doing? No, I don't think it is. No, it's not, is it? I know I'm doing this bit. Right, I got it. Also, sorry, I'm building off screen. Sorry. There we go. I remembered, and now we can carry on building, and you can see. That makes me go into panic mode. Yes, I can understand why. I can understand why as well, because you're like, oh my god, am I actually crazy? And that's scary, isn't it? That is a scary thing, right? That's a scary thing. Again, I feel like I can relate. Yeah? Now, that doesn't mean that we both had exactly the same experiences. It also doesn't mean that one of our experiences is more valid than the other. It doesn't mean that one of our experiences is truer than the other one. But I definitely feel like I can relate, because I feel like I've had many of the things, many of the experiences that you're talking about, I feel I have also had in some way or another. And some of them have been pretty intense, I can tell you right now. You're such an interesting person to talk about this stuff with, how well grounded you are. I admire it. Thank you. It's kind of why I'm here. Well, I'm glad you're here. Then I am very glad you're here. And I'm very glad that we're talking about it, because I think it's a very important topic. Mental health, the way that we perceive the world. Just that, if you're struggling, you're not alone. And I want you to have a happy, healthy life. And I don't want you to just be dismissed, and I'm not just dismissing you. We are talking about it, but at the same time we both have to be open to the possibility that we are quite insane. And it shouldn't be a value, it shouldn't be a judgment value. It shouldn't be like, you're insane and I'm not, and haha, you're rubbish, I'm better than you. That is not how any of this works. It's not about that. And the framing is kind of wrong anyway. That's how people might frame it. I don't think we should frame it like this at all. I think we should frame it as in, what are you experiencing? What help do you need? How can you get some help? What? Because, no one should have to go through that nonsense alone. I need to find bag 10. It was 11. There we go. Good. Yeah, I think about brain in a vat level stuff sometimes, and it can be helpful to consider when explaining this to other people. I wonder a lot about the nature of existence. Moi aussi. Which is, I did like a London van driver version of French then. Yeah, me too. Why I'm this person? Why I'm this person? I don't think. Why? Why is the wrong word? Do you mean how? Because honestly, I don't think there is a why. Oh, thank you for the follow, Pericolo Sock. I don't think, I think that asking why about things is kind of it's not a question we can answer, I think we can answer how. I think there's definitely how answers. Why? The why is anyone's guess, honestly. And I don't think we can really get to that. I just don't think that we're even able to approach a why. I think we just need to try and be a bit happier about getting answers to the how for now, because there's a lot of good. It's a very worthwhile endeavor. Okay, it's a very worthwhile endeavor indeed. The why will work itself out given time, I think. Let's not rush to get there, if you see what I'm saying. Yeah, why I'm this person and not somebody who has a normal life, relatively speaking. I say, again, not a why question. It's not a why question, that I don't think. Yeah, thankfully I'm getting help and working with a therapist who gets me pretty well. That's awesome. That's awesome. Don't know why I said that. Sounded stupid. It could be how as well. It's how, yeah. Yeah, you could just keep going down with why. Yeah, okay, I'm glad that makes sense to you. It does, yeah, I'm glad that does make sense. The why really can drive you a bit crazy, okay? You gotta be a little careful with questions like that. It sounds like, hey, I'm a grown adult. I can do what I want. You're not the boss of me. You're not my mom. I'm going to ask why as much as I'm like, oh no, I've asked why and now I'm looking into the void and the void's looking back at me and I don't want to be here anymore. Mummy, I'm scared. You can dip in and out. You can dip in and out on that stuff. It's like holding your breath. You can only hold your breath for so long, and then you have to come back up for air. Maybe don't keep doing that. At the end of the day, I have to move on from that wondering and do the basic things I do every week. Yes, you do. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. I have to deal with a lot of uncertainty. Yes, what kind of uncertainty do you have to deal with currently? Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Oh, they turned it round. It's so nice. I love it when Lego do that. They turned it all round, but kept some brackets and stuff on the side, so you can still connect it all up and whatever. Ooh, it's lovely. Yeah, it's good. It's a good bit, that. I gotta say, some of the techniques here are quite nice. I'm liking these techniques. The Great Wave was lovely. It's a great looking set, but there was no surprises there. Right? There was literally no surprises whatsoever in any of the building techniques, and there didn't need to be because it's not really that kind of build. But now we've moved into the 3D realm, and the techniques have ramped up. I'm very much enjoying some of this stuff. Oh, look at that. My goodness. Oof. Getting chills. They're multiplying. Lego chills. Fina, I'm constantly communicating with an entity who I don't know in person. There is essentially only one thing I know about their identity, and I don't really know if we're being real. Where it is, they're a good pianist. Oh, that's a good sign. That's a good sign that they're a good pianist. So, yeah, okay. They communicate by moving my body. Here we go. My body mainly through, although I sometimes hear their thoughts and conversations in the way I normally tap into things. And so, Fina, I want you to consider this entity as you. I mean, presumably that's a thought that you've had. You know, it's like, it's you. It may not feel like it, but the entity, like, it's kind of you, right? It's just is you. Oh yeah, okay, put that there. Oh, I've considered that a lot and still have no way of being certain. I don't think it's me. Yeah, now we're on to kind of like, how do we even define identity, really? Because I suppose in a real way it's not you, because you don't think it's you, and therefore it's not you. The entity lives inside your brain, though, right? And so it's another manifestation of the whole thing, which is you. If we think of the whole thing, of your mind as being you, sure, you can't always be the person you want to be. You're a different person in different situations. Sometimes you want to be this bubbly, happy thing and want to make the most of a situation, and you just can't. This is me speaking about myself. And then other times you can access that, and you can have you can suddenly be this person you want to be. You can have a great time. That's also you. When I stream, my persona this isn't my normal persona. This is my stream persona, right? This is how I behave when I'm streaming on Twitch. And it's based on the original, Meja OG. But it's not the same. It's not quite the same person. But it's still me. It's still me. We contain infinitudes. Actually, our minds are so incredible, such incredible computing machines, and they don't always work perfectly well. But yeah, this entity, I mean, it is part of you. It's part of your mind, isn't it? That's like the most obvious and simple and straightforward and non-magical explanation. Now, I know it doesn't feel like it. But I think it might be helpful, though, even though, to kind of carry on with this thought, to be like, well, okay, well, let's assume that you're correct, Meja. Let's play this game. Let's just go down this avenue for a little bit. Hypothetically, let's say you're correct, and then from there we can start having a conversation. The difficulty arises when we start saying, well, it's just magic, innit? It's just magic. And then it's like, well, now we can't really have a conversation. It's too difficult, It's too difficult to have that conversation. It's magic. Well, it's like, well, I'm going to try to communicate with you genuinely and honestly. But I can't really do that if you can just kind of swipe the board. If you can just kind of say, well, I'm not playing this game. Swipe, all the pieces go flying off the board, These are my rules now. And I'm like, well, I can't really play that game. That's not the game, if that's what you want to do, that's what you can do. But it's not a game I can join in. It's not a conversation that I can be a part of. I'm sorry. Like, I do want to do it. I do want to be, talk, and I do want to talk about this stuff. We just have to, let's just try and connect. So I don't think it's me. They seem quite different from me, sure. And we scuffle a lot. Sure. Sometimes I experience things where it feels undeniable that this person has a body of their own. I don't know if I want to go into detail, but I can feel some of her emotional responses as though it's somebody with a separate body. I wouldn't call this magic. Good. I think it's simply a part of nature that I'm experiencing. People are connected to one another. Yes, no, but we're not. See, that's the thing, Fina, is we're not. We are very, very isolated, okay? Like, it's a little scary maybe, but it is the way we are. We are isolated in our own minds, and we can't, we can connect with other people, but you have to really try, and you're never going to get a full connection like the way you describe, We can only brush up against each other's, energies a little bit. We can kind of get a sense for them, but we can never really communicate, not properly. We only really exist in our little walled garden, which is in our own minds, and that is the way it is, I'm afraid. But that's not to take anything away from the experience. That's actually, that's still quite an incredible thing to be. Honestly, an incredible thing to be. It's like, do you want to be more? Do you wish you could be more? Sure, I know. Of course you do. Everyone does. No one wants to be alone. No one wants to be alone. Because it's difficult. It is difficult. Yeah, I know my conceptualization doesn't fit with how most people think. I've experienced hearing somebody else's thoughts in person and remembering memories that aren't. Getting a FaceTime from someone, but I don't know who. Probably my daughter. I'm just going to have to cancel that. It doesn't say who. Oh, yeah. Go away. So I'll just cancel that for now. Oh, I don't think she's going to bed yet, so I'm going to talk to her a little bit later. One of my lovely, lovely daughters. I'm a very, very lucky person. Very, very lucky mummy to have those daughters. They are such beautiful little people. I hope they do okay. Right, anyway, so you were saying, I've experienced hearing somebody else's thought in person and remembering memories that aren't mine and all sorts of things I can't fully explain. Sure, but this probably is still you, right? I mean, that's that thing. It's just still you. I used to be a hard atheist, so another kind of extreme version, like one, but there's a pendulum thing going on here, maybe. But this life has made some kind of witchy person out of me. It happened gradually. When I first started experiencing this, I thought I was expressing some kind of Tourette's. But things became more certain when the same person started communicating with my girlfriend in a similar way. How do you know? How do you know that it was the same person? How do you know that it was communicating with your girlfriend in a similar way? Because the only way you would know that is if you were somehow sharing the same consciousness experiences as your girlfriend. But you're not. And so what you're doing is you're making a lot of assumptions in that statement. well, yeah, I can't know anything 100%. No, I'm not trying to claim that I do. Okay, so in other words, what you need to do is you need to reword that sentence, because you wrote it in a way that was kind of definite. There was no room for ambiguity or uncertainty, and now there is. Because I think it's important to always acknowledge the ambiguity of things and to understand that there's very little certainty, especially when dealing with other people. And as I'm talking to you, it's kind of clear that you don't even have a certainty about your own identity and thoughts. So that's going to be very confusing. But I am trying to bear with you. I'm doing my best. I don't know if I'm the most qualified person for this job, that's for sure. But I'll give it a go. No, yeah, but I think it's not logical. I don't think one follows from the other there, Fina. I'm labeling the experiences in the way they feel, but I can't really describe the stuff to somebody who hasn't experienced telepathy. It's a far out thing. It is, but also you're not kind of giving me. It's one of those funny things, isn't it? Where it's always unprovable. It's always unprovable. Just like the best scams are. You have to believe it yourself, and you just have to there's absolutely no proof. You just have to believe. Sounds like a religion. Sounds like God. Sounds like what a lot of people will use to try to control. And, I can't do that. Nothing in my experience, as a reasonably intelligent middle-aged woman, has ever convinced me that there is magic in this world. You said yes, this isn't magic, and now you're talking about telepathy, and telepathy is magic. It's magic. So there's nothing that will convince me, because you can never provide any proof. There's never going to be any proof there. You can never prove it, using any kind of scientific method. And if you could, then it wouldn't be magic anymore. It would just be a thing that everyone knows about. Telepathy, oh yeah, I was doing that the other day. Bad signal on my phone, so I just decided to communicate telepathically with my wife. What are we having for dinner, babe? And she said, yeah, I don't know. Go by the shops and get something. And it would be mundane. It wouldn't be magic. But it's not, because it doesn't exist. And the only people who claim it does exist are people who are very, very, let's say, unreliable witnesses. Coincidentally, I think. No, it's not coincidentally. That was me being sarcastic. I don't believe there's a global conspiracy. I just don't think it exists. Now, if I ever was able to experience it myself, and actually I know that it wasn't just myself, my own brain trying to pull one over on myself, trying to fool myself, that it was definitely a real thing. For example, someone telepathically communicated something that only they could know and I couldn't know, and then it was actually actionable. I was able to act upon that information and do something, or create some kind of outcome that wasn't previously possible for myself or for reality. And I may change my mind. However, I don't think that's going to happen, because I don't think it exists, because we don't live in a magic world. I don't know for sure that I won't be able to prove this someday. I don't really know what will happen. And you won't be able to prove it, because But yeah. Is this a chance to start trying to send thoughts to you? That would be hilarious. Go for it. It's not hilarious at all. It's I don't think it's funny, actually, is the thing. I actually don't think this is a funny conversation. Why don't you do it? Send me some thoughts. And if I actually hear them in my head, then I'll be like, whoa, I think you might be on something, Fina. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to be able to do it. I'm not going to hear your thoughts. Okay? It's just not going to happen. If you see me act suddenly very surprised, prove me wrong. Come on, prove me wrong. I'd love you to prove me wrong. I'd love you to blow my mind. I'd love to find out there's a much bigger universe out there than I previously thought there was. I would love that. I would love that to be the case. That would be so cool. I'm afraid it's not. Dog says, well, must make my leave. I had a call. My friend has car trouble. That's a shame. It's something that's really hard to do on command. I'm pretty unlikely to be noticeable. I'd probably be wasting my time. No, you do it, please. But why are you saying you're not going to do it now? Just do it. Is there a way we can make it easier? Take care, Doug. Ooh, I'll go to the build cam. Distracting myself. Because this is a very interesting conversation. I'm trying to... I don't want to be nasty, and I don't want to be judgmental, and I really do believe that you probably think you're experiencing these things. It's true, but unfortunately, they do not fall within the. I did say this right at the outset. They do not fall within the remit of my ability to converse with you about them, because I don't believe that they are real. And I also think that you are. And maybe you don't even know it, but you are lying, you know. And it's a bit disrespectful, but there you go. And I wish you could see that. I wish you could see that that's what you're doing, and that that's what it is. But there you go. No, it just takes patience. It comes out of random situations, things where I might have sort of an emotional backing to make a thought more intense. Wildcard, so is that me? Hey Wildcard, how you doing? Thank you for the gift actually recently, Wild. It's really, really nice of you to gift me that. What's it called? It's the Ford Dark Horse Mustang thing. I really like that one. It was on my wish list. And I'm very happy to order that soon. If anyone else is interested in making me a very happy little lady, then my wish list is right there. There's a bunch of cool Lego on it. And if you want to buy me something else, of course, that's perfectly cool. Just let me know. No Lego is too big or too small, but definitely not too big. Well said. I mean, a good starting point would be trying to implant an idea of a certain category, the whole guess and number theory, but a type of flower or animal would also work. No, so we do it. So what it though? I think that Fina needs to define the rules of the game. And if that works for Fina, then that's cool for me. You know, let's be clear on what we're trying to do, and then try and do it. Wait, sorry, I'm not understanding how I've been disrespectful. No, I know you're probably not. I know you're probably not understanding that, and which is why I'm really, really wanting to forgive you. But perhaps one day you will understand why it is a bit disrespectful. But just not right now. I don't think you'll be able to do that right now. I think that's maybe beyond. Yeah, I don't. Maybe you just can't do that, and that's fine. That's the way it is. I'd like you to open yourself up to the possibility that at some point in the future you'll understand why I said that. I didn't say it to have a go at you. I just said it. This is how it. This is the reality. This is how it feels. Happy Sunday. Fina says, oh shit, I need to get ready for group. Still up too fast. Wait, I could have bought chocolate instead. No. I mean, yeah, of course you can. You can buy me whatever you like. But Lego is always good. I'll have to think about this. I've never tried to prove this stuff to somebody before, which is weird in and of itself. Why haven't you? Why haven't you, though? And is that not something that's worth thinking about as well? Isn't that something that you should be thinking about? Why haven't I tried to prove this to anyone? Like, and really try and think about what that answer might be, what the answer to that question might be. Why haven't you tried to prove this? It's pretty incredible stuff, isn't it? But you never thought to try to ever prove it to anyone. You just kind of wanted to keep it to yourself or something. Why? I really want you to examine the question there. That is actually a why question. And it's a why question that I believe you have the power to answer. Maybe just put a few ideas out there. And I think it's an important why question. I really do. I really would like you to consider it. I think I know the answer. I'm not going to give it to you. This one. Fina says it's likely that some crossover has already occurred that I can't say for sure. What I think the best approach would probably be to continue as normal, and I'll just pay attention and say if I notice anything. Nope, that's not going to work. That's not going to work for anyone, Fina, apart from yourself. This has to be a scientific test, and therefore it has to be double-blind. So it has to be composed in a way that will actually prove that it's real, and not just real in your head, and no one else's, because that's not proving anything. Some people don't ask me to prove this stuff. Yeah, and then of course they don't. Of course they don't ask you to do that. And I don't know if I'm being cruel by asking you to do it. But sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind, I guess. I don't know. Due to the way this works, it's difficult to test in the scientific way. Funny that, isn't it? What's the main reason I haven't? That's the main reason I haven't. And it requires the presence of emotions. That's fine. But no, I think that there is. No, I'm not going to say it. Anyway, you get ready for your thing. What's your thing, your group? I don't know what that is, but you get ready for that, because otherwise you're going to miss it, yeah? If I find a way to prove this, obviously I will, but I haven't had the means. No, I'm pretty sure we can come up with a way to prove it, actually. It's probably not that difficult. You know, I don't see why it would be difficult. If you can telepathically, we're just literally saying, if you can telepathically communicate a thought into my head, then I will know that it's true as well. But you have to telepathically communicate with me, which will require me to be, suddenly hearing your voice, or, hearing something, a disembodied voice in my head, okay? Something that's not inside my mind, something that is external but no one else can hear. That's how it would be proven to me that you are telepathically communicating with me, because that is what telepathic communication is. And I just want to make sure you understand what I'm saying here. That is what telepathic communication is. Right? It's not something else, something nebulous, something that you're kind of making up or whatever. That is what it is. That's its definition. So if I can hear a thought that did not originate in my mind, and I'm like, who is that kind of thing, but there's no one here, it's because you're in my mind telepathically communicating with me, then we will have proven that telepathic communication exists. There you go. Not difficult, actually, that. No, you won't. You'll think it was just a random thought you had by yourself because it doesn't feel very different. It's feeling No. Are you talking about mind control now? Because that's a different thing. But you seem to be moving the goalposts. I don't think we're going to be able to have a useful discussion on this. It's because it's quite frustrating. I don't really know how to proceed. I don't really know how to progress this. Yeah, you go get ready. Have a good thing, whatever it is. I'd love to be proven wrong, guys. I'd love to be proven wrong. It'd be awesome. I'd love it to be like proper, Professor X kind of stuff. Or whatever. It would be nice. It would prove that there's more to this existence than we see, So much more that we're not aware of. And how amazing. What an incredible discovery and journey into a new way of living and a new way of perceiving the world. And everything would be changed. Everything would be different. This would be an entirely different world. An entirely different world from the one that we currently live in, which is one that does not have this, because it would be a different world if it did, surely. It's frustrating for me too. I'm trying my best to be clear and honest in a skeptical environment. Must be awful. Okay. It's two little feeties. Look at this. Two little feeties. That's really nice. And a little tummy beard or something. Let's put this on. Oh wow, look at that. Oh my god. It's a kitty cat. There's a pause for, yeah, should we have a pause for thought? Let's all have a little pause for thought. Are we all keeping up? Some people don't ask me to prove this stuff. The reason some people don't bother ask, well, the reason that probably no one has asked you to prove this stuff is because they don't believe you. But they also want to be kind and not make you have to face the fact that this is all there is. It's a very comforting idea that there's a lot more going on, that we have purpose, that there's telepathy, that there's magic, that this world is much more than we can see, that actually it's a conspiracy and you're the one who knows the truth and everyone else is sheeple who lives in a different reality. And it's a nice thought to think that that you're important and you're special and you're different, and I get it. I totally get it. It's a nice idea. It's a nice comforting thought and feeling that you are much more than what you are, much more. And I think it's also very, very dangerous to think that. Very dangerous. Are you sure it's not what you want, though, Fina? mean, surely it's a step up, you know? So, you know, we're all trans, we're trans, I'm trans, you're trans. So another bunch of people who are trans probably watching right now. Maybe a few in the chat. We're trans. Like, as far as, like, if you have a lot of internalized transphobia, you may think, you know, you may have got a lot of kind of, you've imbued all this messaging from the world, and you kind of feel that you should, you know, you should be ashamed of what you are. It's not a good thing to be. There's something wrong with you. You're broken. You're the lowest of the low is what a lot of society wants us to think about ourselves. And, you know, if we were placed on a hierarchy, I'm sure many boring cis-het normative white cis males would say that, yes, trans women are the worst thing you can be. Right at the bottom. Trans women. Oh, God. Disgusting freaks. You're already on the bottom rung, aren't we? We're the bottom rung. You, however, are a telepathic trans woman. That doesn't make you even lower, right? That's a really super special thing to be. Like, why would you be why would you be No, that's not. It's not low. It's much more special. What is lower is a trans woman who has, you know, quite serious mental health problems, who is denying reality and retreating into a fantasy world of her own creation, which is very convincing because your mind is able to convince itself of lots of things. Mind is a very clever thing. It can convince itself of things that are not true. People do that all the time. All the time we do this. I am guilty of it myself, no question. To greater or lesser extents. You have simply done it to a greater extent. And I do feel for you, I really do. That's why I think it's very important for you that this is real. This is definitely real. I understand why it would be so important for you. I really do. Yes, I fought this for a long time. Yeah, you lost the fight, and I really wish that you hadn't. I really wish you hadn't lost that fight, Fina. But I think you have, and I don't want you to. I want you to not give up, and I want you to come back. Maybe you've gone already. Now she's hurt. Yes, yeah, of course, that makes sense. Yeah. What a shame. As I say, it can be pretty devastating being an older transitioning trans woman. It really can be very devastating to have to maintain that. It's so difficult for a lifetime. Retreating into fantasy. It's really sad to see. This is what the world pushes us into. This is the real world consequences and the devastation that it wreaks on people who are, different and outcast from what is considered normal and acceptable. It shouldn't be like this, guys. It shouldn't be like this. We should live in a much better world than this. We gotta keep fighting to make it a better world, but we've also got to do that grounded in reality. We're not gonna be able to fight it if we're living in a fantasy land. We have to see it with clear eyes, clear goals, a unified vision. A truly noble vision. Which is what it is. Which is what being trans actually is. And we do this to reduce the suffering. We do this to save people, to help people. It's very sad. I mean, I think it's important for us all actually to consider that maybe the world is not. That maybe I've done this wrong actually. No, hold on. No, that is right. So what? Let's go that out. There you go. Yeah, what was I going to say? Yes, it's to consider our own mental health is what I'm trying to say. We need to really, we cannot ignore it. Yeah, we cannot ignore it because it's a very dangerous thing to ignore. If you're going to ignore it, you are asking for trouble, actually. And things can get worse for you. They can get much, much worse. You think you're low now, you think you're depressed now, things can get worse. Things can always get worse. But they don't have to. You just gotta put in the work. You just gotta create an environment for yourself which is safe, which is accepting, with people who are like you, who've been through the same shit that you have or similar. You can seek those people out and you can find your people and you can find your community and you can be accepted. Not for someone you're not for someone you wish you were, not for a fantasy that you've created in your head in order to survive. The only way you figured out how, but it's not a healthy way. You can be accepted for who you actually are. And that is really something actually. To be accepted for who you actually are, for who you really are, to be seen properly by people, maybe for the first time. To be seen, to be admired, to be loved. Everyone deserves this. A lot of trans people probably don't think they do deserve it, but you do. You do deserve this. Rosina, I wish that I'd had the courage to accept my true self sooner than we all. Fear is a powerful thing. I try not to regret too much about the lost time, because if I'd made different choices, I would have never have met my fiance. Accepting you, I really was saved my life. Accepting who you were, yeah, exactly. So accepting who you were really did save your life. I was on a very dark path prior to that. Yeah. Sounds familiar. It's a very difficult thing to be, isn't it? It's a difficult thing to be trans. But it's a beautiful thing to be. I'm not talking about this, I'm talking about this. It's a beautiful thing to be. Should never forget that. Write that down, guys. Being trans is a beautiful thing to be. Say it every day to yourself in the mirror. Every day, every morning, say it to yourself. Look in the bathroom mirror and say, I am trans and I am beautiful. Because being trans is a beautiful thing to be. And that's who we are. God, who'd want to be boring old normal anyway? Jeez, that's this. Yeah. Where's the struggle? Where's the nobility in that? Nowhere. Okay, I just made this off camera. Sorry. Oops. I'll try and build on camera soon. We're on to bag 13. Ooh, I'm getting a little bit low on drinkies. Oof. Well, I might call it a day. Because that's taken it out of me, actually, that convo. Yeah, should I just call it a day? I think so. Made some nice cat bits. And this, I don't know what that is yet. Being trans is not only a beautiful thing to be, it is it is a normal thing to be. Normal, yeah. For so many people in this world to be born this way, it's not a fluke. It's really super normal thing to be. Yes, it is. It's a normal part of the human experience. Just because it doesn't happen all the time, just because it doesn't happen to the majority of people, only the minority of people are trans people, but it's a very, very normal thing to be. There are millions of us, literally millions and millions of us in the world. And to pretend that there isn't, to pretend that we don't even exist, or we're not real, or we're not who we say we are, that's a very silly thing to sing, very silly thing to think indeed. That's denying reality. That's denying objective reality. You know, because as difficult as trans people have it, I think that the people who are afraid of us, the people who really are afraid of us, the literal transphobes of this world, and there are far too many of them, but they are still a minority. I think their mental health issues are probably greater than ours, to be honest. I think they're probably grappling with much more dangerous demons than we are. You know, because like, where's the hope for them? Like, what's the best outcome they can hope for? Because at the end of the day, after all is said and done, they are still not gonna be trans. And I think that sort of kills them. I think that eats them up inside, knowing that they are, you know, knowing that, because they know what they are. They know what kind of people they are. They know, and it eats them up. It literally destroys their brain. Much love back to you, Rosina. I, for one, am glad that you continue to platform our rights and issues. Thank you, Rosina. I try my best. It's not always easy, and I can't always bring my A game. But I do what I can. you know. I could probably do more. And honestly, I'm open to suggestions. Get yourself onto our Discord and let's talk about it, maybe, yeah? But I'm gonna stop streaming now. I'm gonna chill for a bit. Maybe watch a bit of TV. Get myself ready for work tomorrow. Do I need to wash my hair? Maybe. It's a maybe. Thank you, Rosina. Thank you. Let's see now. Maybe I'll watch The Wave, actually. I might watch The Wave. It looks interesting. The Wave, 1981. Something that could be very relevant to lots of our interests, that one. Who's streaming? And the answer is lots of people, actually. Lots of people are streaming. What's this? Sugar Cube. She's a VTuber. What's this?
Oral-B vet at uansett hva slags tenner du har.
Gizmo. Oh, it's Freya Holmer. Is it Freya Holmer? It is, isn't it? Yeah, she's doing some coding. Cool. Animating for a Quaternion talk. Or maybe yapping. I don't know. Yeah, probably yapping, right? Streaming and coding is hard, I think. But no, yeah, Freya's great. Yeah, we'll rate Freya. Freya Holmer is Swedish Unity game developer. She's also a tools developer, tools coder. She works at I think she's got a full-time job working at a software development company or Unity development house in the Sweden. And I think that we have never raided her before. I don't think we've ever raided Freya Holmer before, so that's what we're gonna do. So, yeah, no, and she's cool, you know. She's a girl that's my own heart. C# Unity. Quaternions, that's a way of storing rotations for those not in the know. Very clever. The 4 dimensions, you can store them in 4 dimensions, and that means you can interpolate from any dimension, from any rotation without getting gimbal lock, which is an annoying thing that you get if you're just using Euler values to store your rotations in. It's not important really, but you know, I just wanted to make sure you understood how incredibly intelligent I was. Okay, we're gonna go raid. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great Sunday moving forwards, and I'll see you again later in the week. Carry on with the cat. Take care. Bye bye. Mwah.
Kitchen, actually. But this is like